the store, everybody standing out. There's some young nigga took one in his head laying out. Homicide investigation, you know how it's playing out. Nigga got away with murder till somebody ran their mouth.
What's good, y'all? I'm Hip, and I got a good one for you today. This is a crazy story. It's like something out of a movie. Today, I'm going to tell y'all about the time I got set up and robbed. So, this story takes place in 2006. I was 22 years old. My daughter had just been born. She was maybe 2 or 3 months old. And me and baby mama had just moved a few months before that. We had just moved from Nashville to Smyrna, Tennessee, which is like 30 minutes from Nashville. I was working at a restaurant in Smyrna, and I would go back to the restaurant I came from in Nashville and work 2 days a week out there too. So I was working like 6 days a week, and I was hustling on the side like always. I was selling like all kind of pills at this point, and I was doing all kind of pills too. So I wasn't making any money because I was deep in active addiction. This was just a few months before I went to rehab for the first time. So it was getting pretty bad. I had this lady that would sell me a whole script, her whole prescription every month. She was getting 90 OC40s, and she would give them to me for $100. And that's a crazy good deal because you could sell them for $40 a piece back then. I just got them. I called my best friend who was in the Ville and told him I had them, see if he could get rid of some. And a little while later, his little brother called me. He wanted all of them. He had somebody who's going to buy them all. There was this lady in Nashville. She was an older lady, and we called her a candy lady because she sold pills. And she's the one that wanted to buy them. So I wasn't tripping about it. It was normal for her to buy pills in bulk, like a big quantity of them, because she was getting rid of them. So I get ready to go to Nashville to meet them. I didn't take my gun with me because I knew everybody involved and nobody was a threat. I mean, my homeboy's brother was 17. The candy lady was old. I didn't see any reason. So I go to Nashville. The plan was I'm going to meet him at the Walgreens right off the interstate. I'll ride with him to the candy lady's house. She lives like 2.5 miles away. So I get there about 7 o'clock at night. It's a little dark. When he pulls up, I get ready to get in the truck with him. He's got like a Chevy Blazer. So I get ready to get in the passenger seat. But his girlfriend's in the passenger seat, so I can't sit up front, which no big deal. She's 17 too. She's cool. I ain't worried about it. So I get ready to get in the back seat. As soon as I open the door, I seen somebody sitting in the back seat. And this is when I first got a feeling something was wrong. I knew the guy in the back seat. We had grew up together. We played baseball together when we was kids. Went to school together, all that. He was a year or two older than me. And he was my best friend. It was his cocaine plug. It was his dope man. And he was moving a good bit of weight. He never really liked me for some reason. We would be around each other, but we didn't like each other. I mean, we wasn't friends, you know what I'm saying? But it was never any like altercations or anything between us. You could just tell like he ain't like me, you know what I'm saying? So I just knew something was off. On top of that, it had been a crazy few months leading up to this. One of his spots got ran in. The police raided one of his spots. He wasn't there, but they was looking for him now. He was on the run. He was also on parole. Him and his baby mama had recently just started smoking crack again also. And he had just robbed a couple dollar stores in the area just a couple weeks leading up to this. And actually, the last time I saw him before this incident, he was sitting outside the corner store in the hood, sitting out there with a chopper, like AK-47, just sitting out there broad daylight. He was a ticket time bomb. He was just out wilding because he knew it was only a matter of time before he was going to prison. I knew something wasn't right. But now I'm already here and I'm thinking, well, maybe I'm just tripping. And of course I'm high. And so I get in the car and we start heading down Charlotte Pike, which is the main street in West Nashville, leading to downtown. It takes you right to downtown. And the Candy Lady Street is right off of Charlotte, just a couple miles down the road. So while we're driving down the street, I'm playing with my phone, trying to distract myself because I think I'm tripping. And my boy is driving. He's just making small talk with me. We just shooting the shit. And I notice he started slowing down. I look up and he's turning. And we ain't supposed to be turning yet because I know where this lady live at. And so when I look out the window, I turn back around and dude got a big ass 4.5 on my neck. I knew it was a wrap at that point. I'm like, damn. It's a park. It's called Ridgeland Park on Charlotte. So when he made that turn, he turned into the parking lot of the park. And so we're going through the parking lot. Dude got the gun on my neck. He's like, Chris, you already know what time it is. And I did. I knew the G was up. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, I wasn't scared or nothing like that. He's like, Chris, don't play with me. I'll shoot you right now. You know it. My boy and his girl in the front, they're looking back there, acting like they freaking out. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know what the fuck's going on. He tell them to shut up and turn around and keep driving. So he tell me to give him all the pills. So I'm like, man, pull in my pocket, get the pill bottle out and give it to him. Then he said, give me your phone. So I reach in my pocket, get the phone, give it to him. Then he said, give me your wallet. I'm like, man, come on, bro. You ain't got to do this. He said, Chris, I will blow your brains all over that window right now. I'm like, damn, this some bullshit. Pull my wallet out, and I start to get the money out. And as I'm pulling the money out, homeboy slowing down in the parking lot. And he slowed down enough where I could jump out. So that's what I did. I give him the money, and then, bam, open the door and dip. As soon as I got out of the car, they took off. It's crazy because I wasn't freaking out. Like, I wasn't scared or nothing. Like, it never entered my mind, like, damn, you might die right now. Like, that didn't even enter my mind until later. I always thought if I was in a situation and somebody had a gun in my head, I would probably freak the fuck out. But I was cool. Maybe because I was high, I don't know. The one thing that I remember thinking was, damn, if he would have shot me, I would have been laying here with a shirt that say Green Shirts of a Pimps on it. Because that's the shirt I had on. I was just mad because I let it happen. I wasn't really scared or nothing like that. So now I had to walk like a mile back to my car. Luckily, it didn't take my keys, so I could still drive. So when I get to the car, I decided to go to my work right down the road so I can call baby mama and let her know what's happening, let her know I ain't got a phone and shit. So I get there, use the phone, tell her what happened. At first, she didn't believe me. She thought I was bullshitting, and she thought I was just lying and making up some excuse because I had before a reason why I didn't have money because I was always losing money or never had any money for some reason. And she knew it was because I was using, but I would always lie about it. This time was the exception because I definitely wasn't lying this time. I get home like an hour later and she knew I was telling the truth because I still had the mark on my neck from the gun. It like left a hickey on my neck. And so she knew I wasn't lying this time. She wasn't happy. She was upset, but she was just more happy I ain't get hurt because it could have been worse, you know. I called my best friend from her phone and asked him, like, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Your brother and them just got me. He said he didn't know anything about it. I don't know if he knew about it before it happened or after or whatever. I just know our relationship was never the same after that. I don't know. We might have seen each other one other time. After that, we used to kick it every day. After that, we didn't. About a year or so later, my best friend ended up getting killed in a car wreck. And so I went to the funeral, of course. I hadn't seen anybody that was involved since it happened. So we're at the funeral, and of course his brother's there. he was devastated because that was his idol. He wanted to be just like him. The guy that robbed me was at the funeral, but he was sitting in the back and he left before it was over with. I, of course, wasn't finna start no shit at the funeral, you know what I'm saying? But that was the only time I've seen him ever since that happened. So after the funeral, I go to the front to look at the pictures and everything. And his little brother see me and he just give me a big hug and he apologized. Like, man, I'm sorry. I didn't want to do it. He made me, like, dude is like 6, 7 years older than him. He was above him, you know what I'm saying? And he was scared of him. And he made him do it and he was going to break him off some. But he said he didn't even give him anything after doing it. Really, all of it happened because we was all fucked up on drugs. I never thought my friends would set me up and have me robbed and almost killed. Like, if everything didn't happen like it did, I might not be here today, you know. What's crazy is after my homeboy died, 6 months later, almost to the day, his little brother overdosed and died. And the guy that robbed me, he ended up going to prison. It's crazy, man, how everything happens. All because we was all junked out on pills. Because they wouldn't do that in their right mind. My homeboy wouldn't be dead right now. Neither one of them would be dead right now if it wasn't for drugs. I wouldn't have got robbed if it wasn't for drugs. I'm just lucky that I'm the one that's here today to be able to tell the story. Because the other 3 ain't. One of them's in prison. 2 of them is dead. And it very easily could have been me that was dead. I could have been the first one dead. But instead, I'm here able to talk about it. So you just got to be careful out there, man, because you never know. It could be your best friend. Something could happen and y'all could be enemies after that, you know. So even though our relationship wasn't the best after that, like, man, when he died, it fucked me up, you know what I'm saying? Because he was my friend, you know what I'm saying? And I realized, I guess, after he died, like, even though it was messed up that I got robbed and it had something to do with him, like, at the end of the day, it wasn't him, it was the drugs, you know what I'm saying? And I realized that later. I'm glad I never retaliated and tried to kill one of them, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of money. It was like $2,500. And that was a lot of money then. It's still a lot of money to me today, you know. That ain't worth going to prison for the rest of my life over. It's just one of them things, you know. But that's about all I got time for today. I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for watching. If you hadn't yet, hit the subscribe button, man. I need y'all to tap in with your boy, join Team Hip. I need to get them numbers up, you know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Let me know if y'all like this. Like, comment down below what y'all want me to talk about. We'll get it popping. I appreciate y'all. I'm Hip. Catch y'all on the next one.
I got houses doing numbers all week, and my sharks is my brother's bitch. We gon' all freak. Matter of fact, tear your ass to pieces, bitches. Shark week. Brand new silver Maserati grill look like shark.